Hey guys, I am just back from seeing Jurassic World Dominion, and while I had issues with it, I enjoyed the movie. I did have fun with the movie. That said, there is a lot of problems and a lot of issues with this movie. I can certainly understand why it's getting lambasted by critics online because there is too many issues with this film to ignore. And I could easily turn around and do the whole Jurassic fan thing and kind of make up excuses and kind of brush aside and claim hyperbole with some of the reviews. But I'm not going to do that because I think the franchise does deserve better. This film really missed so many opportunities and potential with what was set up from the last movie. And yeah, I'm going to get into that. So I've written some pros and cons. I made a few notes on this because there's a lot I have to say about this movie. I want to start off with the pros first, and just let you know, guys, I will be getting into spoilers. I'm not going to be getting into super deep spoilers, but I will be getting into the spoilers. And when there is stuff that is very kind of plot heavy, I'll give you a warning. But for the most part, I will be doing spoilers. So the pros, first off, the animatronics. I really enjoyed the animatronics. They finally went back to using animatronics for a lot of the animals, particularly the smaller ones. I thought like the Morris Intrepidus and some of the Lystrosaurs and stuff, they were pretty cool. I really enjoyed that. And Beta even. Beta is an animatronic puppet in some scenes. And they done some really fantastic animatronic work that is a hark back to the fantastic Stan Winston. I love that. I love that they didn't rely completely on CG. Even the Giganotosaurus, he was animatronic. There are some scenes, the animatronic's a bit shanky in some scenes, but it still works. And I really enjoyed that, and I'm glad that they didn't turn it into a total CG fest. So that really kind of bolstered my appreciation for the movie. Other things I liked was the new species. The Therizinosaurus was pretty cool. They also introduced the Quetzalcoatlus, this big avian dinosaur, big pterosaur. That was cool. And yeah, I like when they introduce new species into the franchise. They also introduced a favorite of mine in a really cool scene involving Alan Grant, which I think is actually a throwback to an action figures collector's card. Dimetrodon is in this movie. And Alan has a run-in with a Dimetrodon, and again, I think it's the figure, the original Jurassic Park figure, came packed with a Dimetrodon card, and it has Alan being startled by the Dimetrodon. So I enjoyed that, and I did like they finally brought the Metros into the movie, and they were pretty badass. They were animatronic as well, and yeah, they kicked ass. So again, they introduced some new species, not all dinosaurs. Again, Lystrosaurus and Dimetrodon aren't a dinosaur. They're prehistoric creatures, but they're not dinosaurs. Bit sad they didn't introduce anything from the kind of Pliocene era or later on. I would have liked to have seen something maybe like the Smilodon from Camp Cretaceous. That would have been interesting. But I digress. They did introduce some new stuff, and that was pretty cool. Another thing I really enjoyed was the Wanda Wise's character, Kyla Watts. I never knew I needed a badass female Han Solo in a Jurassic Park movie until the Wanda Wise's character turned up. And she kicked ass. She had charisma coming out her ears. And I think she left a lot of the characters in the dust. I really hope that if they do a future movie, she features in it. Because I like this idea of this kind of rogue dinosaur smuggler who's kind of got a heart of gold. And yeah, again, she starts off and she's kind of shades of grey, but when she realizes what happened to Maisie, she kind of sides with the good guys. And again, the Wanda Wise absolutely fucking knocks it out of the park. I do think she is one of the more standout characters in this. And again, she's like a badass female Han Solo. So yeah, I got to check out what else she starred in, because her character, Kyla Watts, is amazing, and the Wanda Wise's performance, I think, really kind of solidifies her character as a badass. Other things I liked, Claire's arc finally comes to fruition, and we see that she is not only focusing on saving the dinosaurs and making the world a better place, but she's also focused on being a mother to Maisie. And you've got this kind of really good family dynamic going on with Maisie, Claire, and Owen. And I've some issues with Owen, I'll get to that. But yeah, Bryce Dallas Howard really encompasses a real maternal instinct for Maisie, and that determination comes through in surviving, getting through the Biosyn Valley, which I'll be getting to. But yeah, again, she has developed from kind of this corporate kind of figurehead to an environmentalist to mother, and it's just it's cool to see the progression from this really kind of shallow, by the books and by the numbers individual to someone who cares for animals, for others, and for her family. And that's, again, Bryce Dallas Howard kicks arse. The other thing I liked was certain legacy characters. Jeff Goldblum obviously comes back as Ian Malcolm. He's really good. He's really funny. He's obviously the classic Ian Malcolm, suave and all talk, and people are like, what the fuck is this dude on about? But he knows that he's right, even if people don't understand what he's on about. Really does a good job encompassing that kind of that egotistical, likable, egotistical kind of individual. And yeah, he's pretty cool. And also Laura Dern's Ellie Statler is great. So much heart, so much kind of like, she has a kind of unrequited love for obviously Alan Grant, Sam Neal's character. And you can see she has certain quirks and stuff that she's trying to push on top of that to hide her true feelings for Alan. And it's just, it's cool. It's cool to see those characters interact. And yeah, I'm going to go from that to the cons, and I'm going to go directly from the legacy characters that I liked to the legacy characters I'd issue with. Now, first off, I adore Sam Neill. Sam Neill kicked arse, and this is in no way Sam Neill's fault. I felt they didn't know what to do with him. I just genuinely felt they were like, well, we got to bring back all the legacy characters, and they put Sam Neill in. And when they got him in, they were like, okay, do whatever. And he was like, what do you want me to do? I don't think he was bored, and I don't think he was kind of, dare I say, kind of phoning in the performance. I just think he wasn't given direction, really. He wasn't really given something to do. In the latter part of the movie, he does kind of help Maisie and Owen capture Beta, but it just seems like a tokenistic kind of job to give him. And I love the character, but I just feel he was squandered. I mean, they try and do some funny scenes. It's like, oh, grumpy old Alan Grant, he doesn't like millennials, he doesn't like coffee. I felt that was like, you don't really know what you're doing. You're kind of pulling stuff out of your ass with the character. Again, I think the scene in the mine with the Metros, the Dimetrodons, I thought that was cool. Again, I think that was a nod back to the Kenner Collector card, but I just felt the character was squandered. So that was one legacy character I think they did let down. And again, no fault whatsoever to Sam Neill. I think he'd done a fantastic job of what he was given, but I just don't think he was given enough. My other issue was with the movie, and there's quite a few. What happened Jurassic World? What happened the big ecological kind of disaster, the impending doomsday clock that is Jurassic World? It's brushed to aside. It's like we get a quick news clip at the start, declaring like how humans have to adapt to living with dinosaurs. But it never is the kind of center issue of this movie. The center issue of this movie is fucking Biosyn's locusts. And I'm like, what? So, what happens in the movie, and again, spoilers, guys, so I'm going into spoilers. Biosyn, the bad company from the first movie, are back, and they're trying to do quote-unquote humanitarian work, and they're making land to house all the more larger, dangerous dinosaurs. And it also turns out, at the same time, that they're producing locusts to destroy crops that aren't produced by them. They're using locusts to cause a famine, so more people buy biosyn seed and grain. And they're like, and the main issue of the movie, the main problem in the movie is, oh, it's going to be an ecological disaster. There's going to be a famine. You don't need to create an artificial ecological disaster when there's already dinosaurs running around. Why are we focusing on this locust shit when we already have the issue of dinosaurs bombing around the place, eating people, fucking causing damage, causing property damage, vehicle damage, death, injury? Why are we focusing on that? Now, initially, I thought the locusts were going to be a byproduct of dinosaurs being loose. I thought maybe some of the animals had been cloned, and before they had died, they had consumed maybe the larva of the locusts. And when they were cloned, that larva was still in their system, and maybe it was kind of excreted via their dung or excrement, and that's how the larva hatch turned into the locusts. And that's a knock-on effect. And I thought that would have been really interesting. It's not just the dinosaurs are causing kind of physical damage in that they're attacking people or attacking property or vehicles. It's just they're bringing back like dead parasites or dead viruses or long extinct kind of viruses. I thought that was going to be the case. But no, these locusts were produced by biosyn, as if to say, well, we need a reason to be villainous. We need a reason to be evil. Like you've already got that with Campbell Scott's Lewis Dodgson, who's a returning character from the original movie. He's the guy who gave Nedry the shaving can. Different actor though, because Cameron Tor, the guy who portrayed the original Lewis Dodgson, is an absolute. I'm not even going to get into that, but he was a nonce. So they got Campbell Scott to portray him, and Scott's doing an interesting kind of Steve Jobs kind of thing with Lewis Dodgson. It works, but it's a bit too on the nose as well. I had an issue with that. That and the biosyn headquarters is like something. It's like a Google HQ or a Google campus, like all the architecture, and there's an on-site coffee house and there's lecture halls and stuff. It's like fucking. It doesn't seem like a facility for housing dinosaurs. It seems like a facility where you'd go to invent a new fucking app. That was one issue I had with it. The biosyn facility was another problem I had because, again, this movie totally abandons and does away with the prospect of Jurassic World. I thought we were going to be going all over the world and seeing how dinosaurs are affecting the planet and stuff. No, we are back to an isolated location, which is a valley in the Caucasus, kind of a plateau in the Caucasus, where biosyn has rounded up and captured all the dinosaurs. So you're in another isolated location. You may as well have stayed in the fucking island. That's what I think. Why keep it to the isolated location? I mean, that it again, squandered potential. Absolutely squandered potential. I don't know why they felt the need to kind of make another Jurassic Park on a mountain run by biosyn. I think we got a taste of what the world was like with the news clippings and with Malta, but why go back to that isolated location? Other issues I had, Ramsey Cole, Swerve. There's a YouTuber, lovely YouTuber, awesome YouTuber by the name of Swerve, and he's a big Jurassic Park YouTuber. He was kind of gloating this character of Ramsey Cole. I thought this guy didn't do fuck all. I thought he was the most boring character that was in the flick. I mean, sure, Grant didn't have much to do, but at least he had a bit of persona and personality. I don't know. I just felt Ramsey Cole was a very kind of forgettable character. I don't get that. Didn't feel there was any jeopardy at any point. I mean, they were saying this is the epic conclusion to the Jurassic franchise. And one might think, oh, they're going to kill off some legacy characters. But no. And there was a point in the movie where I was like, yeah, no one's going to bite the bullet in this. No one I give a shit is going to bite the bullet in this. I just felt there was no jeopardy. I I wasn't worried for any of the human characters. I wasn't worried for Rexy. The battle, I'll get into that. But again, I just didn't feel anyone was in any jeopardy, and I just couldn't get invested in the situation because I didn't feel anyone was going to get hurt or killed. Um, the other issue I had was the last battle. Now, there has been a habit of kind of dinosaur team ups, obviously since Jurassic World Blue and Rex defeating the Indominus. And then you have the Giga versus the T Rex. And the thing is, they were trying to. I don't know how Trevorrow was saying it or what he was saying, but he was trying to put forward that the Giganotosaurus is like the Joker. It's just kind of carnage incarnate. But it wasn't even in it that much, and it just was a big bullyish dinosaur. And the battle at the end kind of just came down to, it was like two guys in the shower room fighting, and then a dude in the corner of the shower room who's a schizophrenic with fucking a shank ends up getting embroiled into it, and one of them gets pushed against the schizophrenic with a shank. That's what the last fucking battle felt like. Sorry, apologies. But yeah, Rexy ends up dispatching the Giga by pushing the fucking Giga onto a skittish Therizinosaurus. That's again, it's like two guys fighting in the prison shower room, and then another dude with a shank getting fucking embroiled. And I don't know, I was like, I was very underwhelmed. I was like, please. So yeah, there's a lot more. I have a lot more cons than I have pros. I could get into even how that Chris Pratt. I think he's interest. He was just about phoning in his performance, and yeah, that was another thing. But that guy's worth his own. Is it a terrible movie? It's not terrible, but it's certainly not the best in the franchise. Would I recommend you go see it? If you're a fan of the franchise, most definitely see it in the big screen. If you're more of a casual fan, maybe wait till DVD or till it comes out on Netflix. It is disappointing because this film had been put back, and apparently they did added stuff and touched stuff up. And according to Sam Neill, there's an even longer cut. I don't know if adding more onto this movie would fix it, because there is parts that do feel a bit broken and a bit disjointed. But I don't know, guys. I don't hate this movie. I can't hate this movie. Maybe it's the Jurassic Park fan in me that'll give every JP movie and JW movie a pass. But I can't bring myself to hate it. But it's definitely not the best in the franchise, and definitely has one with so much squandered potential. I'm going to be dead honest, guys. I think that we should have gotten a more kind of epic movie. This is the advertising for this movie is saying it's epic. It's not. It's not. Well, we should have seen the major ecological ramifications of dinosaurs being loose on the planet instead of giant locusts. I mean, we already have the situation of dinosaurs out. We don't need to add in an artificial threat. But I don't know, guys. That's my opinion. I liked it. I thought it was fun. I'll definitely pick it up as a Jurassic movie fan. But I would say if you're a franchise fan, check it out in cinema. But if you're not, if you're more of a casual fan, maybe rent this out or check it when it comes to Netflix. And yeah, hopefully this isn't the last. I know there's lots of people saying, oh, this is the last of the Jurassic movies, or this better be the last of the Jurassic movies because they're flogging a dead horse. I don't think so. I think that this movie is a misstep from the end of Fallen Kingdom, which has a fucking hell of a lot of potential, and I know people don't like Fallen Kingdom, but that movie set up something so interesting and with so many avenues that can be explored, and it just seems to be skipped or ignored with this movie. So I hope they do maybe do a TV show or something to follow it on. But I digress, guys. Have you seen this movie? Let me know in the comments below. And yeah, have a good one. Take care. Bye now.